What if the person you're meant to be is locked behind a door you're too afraid to open? Picture yourself standing in a shadowed room, the air thick with silence, a faint hum beneath your feet, the pulse of something alive, something you've always known but never named. You reach for the handle, and your hand trembles, not from cold, but from a heat rising in your chest, a whisper that says, "This is it. This is you." But instead of turning the knob, you freeze. Why? Why does the promise of your truest self feel less like a gift and more like a wound reopening? Here's the paradox that gnaws at your bones. Becoming who you really are hurts more than staying who you're not. You've spent years building walls. Call them safety. Call them routine, brick by brick. Each one a story you tell yourself. I'm fine like this. I don't need more. But what if those walls aren't protecting you? They're burying you. What if the ache you feel, that quiet gnawing in the dark hours, isn't failure but a call, a signal from the self you've abandoned? You want to answer it, don't you? You want to step into the wild, untamed expanse of your own soul, but the pain stops you. Not the pain of effort, not the sting of rejection, but something deeper, sharper. The agony of peeling away the masks, the lies, the half-lived dreams you've clung to like driftwood in a storm. Do you feel it now? That tension pulling you apart, the longing to become, warring with the terror of letting go? What's on the other side of that door? Freedom, yes, but freedom with teeth, raw, unscripted, demanding you face every shadow you've ever cast. You've been taught that happiness is ease, that peace is stillness. But what if the truth is uglier, messier? What if becoming yourself means walking through fire, not once, but again and again? Each step a burn, each turn a scar. Can you stand the heat? Or does the thought alone make you want to bolt, to sink back into the soft, familiar cage of who you've pretended to be? And here's the question that haunts. Why does it hurt so much to be real? Is it the weight of what you'll lose, those comforting illusions, those borrowed identities? Or is it the fear that once you strip it all away, you'll find nothing worth keeping? You're standing at the edge now, toes curling over the brink, the wind of possibility howling in your ears. You could leap, or you could retreat. But the ache won't let you rest, will it? It's alive, insistent, a thread tugging at the roots of your mind. There's something here, something buried beneath the pain, waiting to be unearthed. Step closer. The answer isn't out there, it's in you, and it's clawing to get out. You've felt the pull now, that jagged edge of pain slicing through the quiet, the call to become warring with the urge to hide. But why does it cut so deep? Why does the mere thought of stepping into your truest self twist your gut into knots? The answer isn't simple. It's a tangle of roots, sunk deep into the soil of your mind, your past, the world you've been shaped by. This isn't just reluctance, it's a rebellion, a conspiracy of forces inside and out, whispering that it's safer to stay small, to stay shadowed. The pain of becoming isn't an accident. It's the price of a truth you've been trained to avoid. Carl Jung saw it first, the shadow. That dark, writhing mass of everything you've pushed down, your fears, your rage, your wildest wants, lurks beneath the surface, guarding the door to your real self. It's not silent. It screams when you get close, because meeting it means wrestling it, dragging it into the light. Most flinch, Jung said, because who wants to face the parts they've spent a lifetime denying? Sartre sharpens the blade. Man is condemned to be free, he wrote. And there's the sting. Freedom isn't a gift. It's a burden. You're not born whole. You have to carve yourself from nothing, and every cut hurts because there's no map, no God, no script to lean on. Just you and the void. Nietzsche peers deeper, his voice a growl through the ages. You must become who you are, he demanded, but he knew the cost. It's not just effort, it's destruction. To become, you must first unmake the self you've built, the one stitched from society's threads, from approval, from fear of standing alone. Schopenhauer, ever dour, nods in agreement. Life is suffering, and chasing your essence only tightens the screws. Every choice a gamble, every truth a wound. You hesitate because your instincts know this. The mind craves certainty, and authenticity offers none. It's chaos, raw and unfiltered, and your brain, wired for patterns, for safety, recoils, like a hand from flame. Society piles on, a weight you didn't ask for. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World isn't fiction. It's a mirror. You're conditioned to fit, to numb the ache with structure. School, work, rules. Chaos feels like death because you've been taught it is. Viktor Frankl, clawing meaning from Auschwitz's ashes, saw the flip side. Freedom without purpose is a hollow shell, and you're terrified to find out if you can fill it. Your identity's been handed to you, employee, friend, follower, and shedding it feels like stripping skin. Why? Because beneath the labels, you're naked, and the cold bites hard. But the deepest root twists tighter. It's not just fear of pain, it's fear of power. What if you become something so wholly your own that no one can touch it? Jung's shadow holds your potential too, not just your shame, and that's the real terror. You might be vast, untamed, more than you've dared to dream. Sartre's existence precedes essence means you're the sculptor, and every chip of the chisel stings. The pain isn't punishment, it's birth, and you're fighting it because you've forgotten how to push. The tension coils now, a spring in your chest. If this fear runs so deep, what's it already cost you? The shadows stretch longer than you think. Let's follow them. You're standing in it now. The echo of that pain, the shadow of a self you've kept at arm's length. You thought it was just fear, a fleeting shiver you could shrug off. But it's more. It's a current, silent and relentless, carving grooves into your life while you weren't looking. By dodging the ache of becoming, you've let something else take the reins, something insidious, something you didn't choose. Sartre's void isn't empty. It's filled with the wreckage of what you've surrendered, and the consequences aren't loud. They're a slow bleed, staining everything you touch. Look at your days. That job you tolerate, the one that grinds your spirit into dust. Why? Are you still there? It's not just habit, it's surrender. Cognitive science calls it the sunk cost fallacy. You've poured years in, so you stay, even as it hollows you out. Your brain clings to the familiar, a dopamine drip of predictability, while confirmation bias blinds you to the exits swinging wide. You're not just avoiding pain, you're addicted to its absence. A prisoner kissing the bars because they're warm from your own breath. And the cost? A life half-lived. A whisper of who you could have been, fading with every clocked hour. Zoom out, and the rot spreads. Society thrives on this. Your fear is its fuel. Huxley's dystopia is here. You're fed stories of obedience. Work hard, blend in, don't rock the boat, because a soul awake is a threat. Sartre's, they, that faceless crowd, dictate your edges, and you nod, terrified of the silence beyond their hum. Ash's conformity experiments prove it. You'll doubt your own eyes before you step out of line. Your identity erodes, not in a blaze, but in 1,000 quiet yeses, until you're a stranger staring back in the mirror. How many dreams have you buried under the weight of their gaze? How many sparks snuffed out by a raised eyebrow? Your mind's complicity cuts deeper. Neuroscience lays it bare. Fear of the unknown ignites your amygdala, flooding you with cortisol, urging retreat. Becoming yourself is a biological gamble. Every step into the wild trips alarms wired eons ago. So you cling to roles, to scripts, even as they choke you. Jung's shadow grows fat on what you've ignored. Passions wither, relationships stagnate. The world shrinks all because you couldn't bear the heat of your own light. Sartre's nothingness isn't a concept here. It's the void you feel when you tally what slipped away, the years spent running from a self you never met. The deepest wound is the ghost you don't see, the you who might have been, the one who leapt, who dared, who carved meaning from the dark. That self isn't dead. It's trapped, pounding on the walls you've built, its voice a dull ache in your chest. You've traded authenticity for echoes, a reflection warped by fear, and the urgency bites. Now, how long can you live this way? Tethered to a shadow of your own making. The lines on your face, the heaviness in your step, they're not age, they're evidence, etched proof of a battle you've refused to fight. You're not free, you're caged, not by iron, but by the lie that this is all you are. But what if the bars aren't real? What if they crumble the moment you push? The rebellion stirs. A ember in the dark. You've seen the wreckage now. The life you've let fear sculpt. The silent toll of a self unclaimed. The pain of becoming isn't just a shadow. It's a call. And you've been dodging it too long. Sartre's voice cuts through. You're free. Always have been. But you've woven your own chains from threads of doubt and habit. The rebellion starts here. Not with thunder, but with a quiet, radical turn. You stop running. You face the dark, not as a captive, but as a warrior. This isn't about escaping the hurt. It's about wielding it. Turning the blade of your own becoming into a tool. How do you break free? You burn the lies and build anew. First, shatter the excuses. Sartre's bad faith thrives on them. I can't. I'm stuck. This is just how it is. And you've whispered them until they stuck. Rip them out. Ask yourself, what am I pretending not to know? That job draining your soul? You're not trapped. You're choosing safety over fire. That dream you've shelved? It's not lost. You're just scared to claim it. This isn't reckless. It's raw honesty. Every moment you linger is a choice, not a fate. Look at Rosa Parks. One seat, one refusal, no grand scheme. Just a spark of will that lit a revolution. She didn't wait for the world to shift. She moved. You can too. Next, dive into the pain. Jung's shadow doesn't shrink by ignoring it. It fades when you wrestle it. Sartre knew the nausea of freedom's expanse, that dizzy spin when the ground drops. Don't flinch. Step in. Psychologists call it exposure. Face the fear, and its claws dull. Start small. Say no when you'd nod. Walk a road you've never dared. Feel the sweat, the pulse hammering, and push through. Nietzsche's amor fati burns here. Don't just endure the hurt. Love it. Crave it. Let it forge you. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while facing his own chaos. You're not weaker. You've just forgotten your spine. Then, forge your meaning. Sartre rejected the scripts, God's will, society's rules, and handed you the pen. Viktor Frankl proved it in Hell's Depths. Meaning isn't given. It's made. Stop asking what you're supposed to be and decide what you are. Write it down. Unfiltered art, truth, love, tearing down the broken to build the real. The act is the rebellion. You're no longer a piece on the board. You're the player. Camus defied despair with absurd grit. Frida Kahlo painted her wounds into immortality. You don't need certainty, just the guts to begin. Finally, move. Freedom isn't a thought, it's a leap. Sartre's existentialism demands action, even if you stumble. Neuroscience agrees. Motion rewires you, snaps the loops of fear. Take one step. Quit the dead-end grind. Voice the silenced truth. Chase the wild pulse and the tide turns. Failure? It's yours, not the world's. And that's strength. Galileo defied the heavens. Kahlo bled onto canvas. They didn't wait for safety. They struck. You're not here to shrink. You're here to shape. This is the shift. You've been taught pain is the enemy, but it's the fire that tempers you. Comfort's the cage. Chaos is your forge. Sartre's freedom is jagged, alive. Jung's shadow is fuel, not foe. You'll falter, bleed, doubt, but you'll feel it. The roar of your own making. The chains aren't real. They dissolve when you stop believing. You're not just breaking free, you're rising. And that rise carries you to a truth so sharp it cuts the world in two. Step up. It's waiting. You've fought your way here. Through the pain, the ruins, the rebellion, and now you stand raw, trembling, alive. The air crackles with it. A truth so fierce, it burns away every veil you've ever worn. Sartre's lantern flickers, Jung's shadow looms. But this moment is yours, a blade forged in the fire of your own becoming. The ultimate revelation isn't gentle. It's a thunderclap, a mirror, shattering to show you what's been there all along. You're not just free. You're the creator of your own existence. And the pain? It was never the enemy. It was the birth of you, the real you, screaming to be seen. Sartre's existence precedes essence lands like a fist now. There's no blueprint carved in the sky. No cosmic hand to pat your head and say, well done. You've waited for a sign, a voice to tell you who you are. But the silence roars back. There's no one else. You are the architect, the sculptor, the flame. That agony you felt, the tearing, the doubt, wasn't weakness. It was power. Every time you flinched, every time you hid, you weren't running from pain. You were running from yourself. And the second you stop, the world flips. You don't fit into it. It bends to you. Look back. Every scar, every broken piece, every quiet fight, they weren't chaos. They were you, hammering meaning from the dark. Sartre called it anguish, but it's more, it's birthright. You're not condemned. You're unbound. Jung's shadow isn't a curse anymore. It's a partner, whispering truths you once feared. Nietzsche's abyss doesn't swallow. It salutes. That job that crushed you taught you steel. That love you lost carved room for something truer. Every stumble was a stroke, every tear a hue, painting a self no one else could imagine. Frankl saw it in the camps. Meaning isn't out there. It's in you, a ember that never dies. The realization cuts deeper. The pain was the point. Not a hurdle, but a forge. Sartre's nothingness isn't a void. It's a sea, endless, and yours, and you're the tide. You've been chasing ease, begging for peace. But ease is a lie, becoming is the pulse. The hurt doesn't fade. It shifts from chain to compass, guiding you where you've yet to stretch. Sartre's freedom isn't an end. It's a chase, a horizon daring you to run. You'll trip, everyone does, but now you see, the fall isn't ruin. It's wings. You're not dodging life's weight. You're lifting it, molding it, claiming it. So, stand here, at the brink of all you've known, and breathe it in. The world sprawls vast and wild, a canvas of chaos begging for your mark. You're not small. You're a storm, a universe, unfolding. Sartre's truth isn't a weight, it's a dare. Stop hiding, start burning. Take the chisel, the spark, the howl, and make. Not later, now. The pain lingers, a faint hum, but it's drowned by the thunder of your own rise. What will you shape? Who will you be? The answer's in your hands, pulsing, fierce, alive. You've mistaken breaking for breaking through. Every crack was you, clawing out. Step forward. The dark isn't hollow. It's you, whole and blazing, waiting to begin.